Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to your new family. It's the Owaze Show with your hosts Fire and TG every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m.
The best music, entertainment, spicy topics, and so much more.
Owaze, let's spice it up.
Dang it, I coughed right before we got on here.
You got those dry coughs still?
Yes, I do, but guess what? At least my voice is working now.
She can speak, folks. It has a voice. It's alive.
Last week, I was completely silent, so I'm very happy to be able to talk on today's show.
How y'all doing, family? It's the Owaze Show with your girls, Howie and TG.
Yes.
Welcome to the Owaze Show. It's a Friday, TGIF.
We're back at it again, y'all. Welcome.
Yes.
Super happy.
A holiday weekend as well.
It's a Friday too. Y'all know how we feel about Fridays here.
We're very, very, especially this one.
This one is beyond our expectations. If y'all know what kind of week we've had, me and TG are on a high.
It's a very take that type of week. We've had a good week.
A very good week.
But we've also had a long week.
You know what? This week has been okay.
No, I'm dead. I'm dead.
That's what I'm saying. I'm tired. In the sense that it doesn't feel lengthy, but I'm just need a rest.
True. Yeah. Same. Yeah. I'm gonna sleep my absolute behind off tomorrow, and then deal with Doro and everything on Sunday.
Oh Lord,
I have to cook.
You do have to cook.
I always do.
She enjoys cooking for the holidays, guys. Whereas my ass goes to Deborah's Eight, and I just eats the food.
Babe has promised to make Doro this time.
No way.
Which should be very interesting because you think I'm impatient. He is not a patient person. So I'm excited to see him cook for 7 hours straight.
Wait, has he ever cooked
No.
before? Oh,
he helps me like but he's like, this is the ultimate husband move. He's like, I'm gonna make you Doro.
It is the ultimate
and you're gonna
move.
chill.
2014 has really been a big change, huh?
And then that's the one thing he's never tried to make, so I'm excited to see how he does.
I'm here for it.
So I should explain how my week has been. Mm-hmm. My week started with, last week we did our show with Happy. We talked about wellness and everything.
Yeah,
and as I'm on my way home in the ride, I start to feel a toothache coming on.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have any messed up teeth, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm growing out my wisdom teeth.
Yeah, it's at the very back.
Saturday, it hit. Oh, man. The first 2 days, I have to say, for anybody that suffers with toothaches, y'all are strong people.
People say there's nothing like your teeth hurting. It's just incredibly excruciating.
I was like, I would rather break both my legs again
than
than ever have to feel this.
No way.
It was so bad. I was up for a good 3 days straight. I was like halfway hallucinating. I was like, I don't like toothaches. This is not my thing.
I'm so sorry, bro. I've never gone through this pain, so I do not know.
Yeah, I have a sort of an impacted tooth. I might have to get it pulled out. I was like, I'll just wait until next week.
I'm here for you, bro.
But yeah, it's been a long week is what we mean, but we also got some good news in between. A lot of huge Owaze things coming your way.
We're so stoked, guys.
And as for today, we are actually talking about self-compassion.
Yes. This is a topic that me and TG have been discussing off air, because we talk all the time. And she was like, you know what? I think we should really discuss self-compassion. And I was like, you know what? I agree.
True. I will give credit where credit is due. I'll tell you guys how this idea came about as well. But let's go for a track.
Sounds good.
Let's get y'all's Friday started.
I'm going to play you guys a little Black Eyed Peas.
I love it.
As we get to a musical break, you guys know that if you want to find us, go on to our social media, all accounts at Owaze Show. That's AWAZESHOW.
Ooh.
Yes. We're moving into a musical break, and then we'll be back with more here with Owaze. Let's get it.
Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to your new family. It's the Owaze Show with your hosts Fire and TG every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m.
The best music, entertainment, spicy topics, and so much more.
Owaze, let's spice it up.
Hey guys.
Hey man, I didn't put my headphones on. Wait a minute.
Go ahead, you're good. Me and TG were just
I don't know
having
why I like the sound of my voice today.
our own conversation off air and just talking about reminiscing over this past week and how excited we are about so many things that we're going to bring to the forefront. We're going to be able to talk about it in the future. But for now, just know that we're very happy.
Yeah, all the giggles kind of make it obvious for sure. But welcome back to the show. It's another Friday, another awesome time to reflect and talk about things that we believe matter. Not to say other things don't matter. It's just this particular week, this is the thing that
Oh my God.
we're focusing on while we're working on ourselves. And so
Yes.
a friend, I should give credits where credits due. Beza, shout outs to her. She used to be an associate of ours when we worked at the other station.
Okay.
Should I just be able to say this at this point? When we worked at Afro FM.
Yes. I think people
I'm
who
so sick of the...
are familiar with radio know that.
Yeah, while we were at Afro, we had an associate. Her name was Beza, and she was a co-host on the Tourist Corner. Mm-hmm. She sent me this live video link. She was like, I think you guys would find this interesting.
All right.
And I went and I watched the video. It's this woman called Dr. Helena Tucker. And she was talking about self-compassion. She is a doctor in clinical psychology, menstrual cycle and emotional well-being, PMS, and PMDD support.
I love the fact that
That's
she
a
has
specific.
for me, man. Yes.
True. And that, I mean, at some point we will talk about how women's just life cycles and emotional cycles are very different from men because of that simple fact.
That's a huge thing.
Sorry, that's just how our brains work. Deal with it. But she was talking about self-compassion, and something she said really hit me hard.
What's up?
She said, we're all really good at being good friends.
Yes.
We're good at telling people that we love them. We're good at uplifting our friends. We're good at being there when people are sick or depressed or sad. Mm-hmm. We're good at motivating. Like, we're so good at being good to other people. And I thought about it and I was like, I'm super supportive of like the 3 friends I have.
3 friends. Come on. TG, by the way, you guys don't know this. TG actually is that kind of person. Even to a stranger, she'll be like, you can do it. Like,
Yes.
I support you. And I'm like, you don't even know this person,
Complete
bro.
stranger.
But she just has that light and that ability to be that encouraging and loving to everyone around her, whether she knows them or not.
I'm currently coaching about 6 complete strangers on how to get curls. Like, I'm doing a daily check-in with people.
This is so funny because I'm not this kind of person.
And they're like offering to buy me gifts. It's weird. But she said, but when it comes to doing it for ourselves, that's when we get a little stuck.
So essentially, we're friends for other people, and as cheesy as this sounds, we're just not friends to ourselves.
At all. We're not kind to ourselves. We're not compassionate to ourselves, which is why the topic's self-compassion. And I thought about it and I was like, when other people make a mistake, it's okay. Stuff happens. You'll get through this. It's
We're
fine. You're
understanding,
only
absolutely.
human.
Yeah.
When I make a mistake, I'm a dummy.
Oh, it's like,
How
my
dare
goodness.
I?
The self-criticism is like at a 10.
You know what
it's
I mean?
nasty. It's nasty.
How dare I? Other people are beautiful and, you know, their outfit is great. But me, I have a hard time saying it about myself. And I was like, oh, she's right. I'm a bad friend to me.
This is absolutely true, and I don't think we recognize these things unless you intentionally call yourself out.
Yeah.
You don't even realize that that's how you treat yourself.
I didn't know I was being mean to myself. And as soon as she said it, I was like, how do I react to my bad days? How do I react to my failures, my setbacks? How do I react to my behavior when I do, you know, and I was like, oh.
And especially when you are depressed, being a person who suffered from depression, it's so bad.
It's dark.
It's so bad the way that you talk to yourself. Your inner voice is it's terrible. Like, you feel like you shouldn't leave the house. You don't deserve to have nice things. You don't deserve to be around people. It's just like you're sucked
Like,
into
what are you
like
smiling
this.
at? What do you have to be happy about? Yeah.
Even when other people are smiling, you want to smile, but inside, like, you feel like you don't deserve to. So you're just a sad person all the time.
Yes. And so the idea of being compassionate to myself is a little scary, but I do want to try it.
It's a work in progress. It doesn't matter how good you are to yourself, even if you've come a long way. It's definitely something that you have to work at every day.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
It's a little scary. I'll be honest. I don't know how to.
And there's levels to it. If we're going to be honest, there's levels to, being self-compassionate. And I think in terms of even just, it's not just one huge thing. I look at it even in forms of like physical, self-compassion, emotional self-compassion, like psychological self-compassion. All of that, I feel like you don't master, or you don't just, because you're self-compassionate, it just means that overall
no,
you have to work on all of those aspects, is how I look at it.
Yeah. So according to selfcompassion.org, these are the 5 elements
Of self-compassion? All right, give them to us.
The first one is self-kindness versus self-judgment.
Yes, that's a big one.
So self-compassion entails being warm, understanding towards ourselves when we suffer, fail, or feel inadequate, rather than ignoring our pain and flagellating ourselves with self-criticism. It recognizes that being imperfect, failing, experiencing life difficulties is inevitable, so they tend to be gentle with ourselves when confronted with painful experiences, rather than getting angry when life falls short of set ideas. We can't always be or get exactly what we want.
Ooh, this one was a big one for me.
You barely get what you want.
This one is a big one for me because I consider myself, like we were talking about off air, an overthinker, a planner. I know that sounds strange, but I am a planner. I'm like, I want this to go like this, or, I have a set like expectation in my mind of how I want things to play out. And when they don't, I don't essentially have a plan B, and I'm like, what am I going to do?
That's the problem with overthinkers is we've had, like in our minds, we hit play and we've created the whole scenario.
Yep.
So as so much as you not saying what I expect you to say can set me off.
I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to hold you accountable.
How dare you not stick to the script that I made for you in my
mind? Yes. Very true.
We sound crazy, we know, but you all do it. Don't judge us like you don't do it.
I think we're vocalizing it, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are tuning in and saying, yes, those are my exact thoughts.
Yes. So, are you kind to yourself or are you judgmental? And I do believe when you're like very judgmental to yourself, it comes out in nasty forms and it starts to project on other people as
100%.
well.
This is spot on. Bullseye. I say this because to the people who are very critical, you're like, Dane, why are they all up in my ass? But it's like, that's essentially who they are to themselves.
That's because you don't like you. You trying to project your baggage, your insecurities,
100%.
Your judgments of yourself. Maybe I'm happy with a certain thing that you hate. Maybe I love it that way.
But you don't like it for yourself.
So you up in here trying to tell me I'm doing it wrong. That screams self-judgment.
And I don't think we take the time to, to set back or to take a step back and realize that, dang, this is really probably why a lot of people treat us this way. I know that takes a lot of, maturity to be like thinking for other people, because you're just a crappy person. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be treating me this way. But it does help us to not just only understand ourselves, but why other people act this way too.
Yes, absolutely. The second one is common humanity versus isolation.
What's this one?
So, when you mess up, when you do a bad thing, when you end up in a difficult situation, if you're not compassionate to yourself, it feels like it only happens to you, like an isolated incident.
Like me against the world, for sure.
As opposed to a common human experience that you go through and that she goes through and that he goes through. If you're not kind to yourself and if you are very hard on yourself, it starts to feel like this is an isolated incident where this only happens to me.
I think that comes with age. Because definitely when I was younger, I probably was a bit more dramatic and was like, oh my God, why is my world falling apart? But I think with age, and when you converse with people, you realize, oh, they went through it too, or something similar happened to them. I think that's where you gain the wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. I have felt a lot in my life like I shouldn't talk about the things I'm going through because you wouldn't understand is how I thought of my struggles. Sometimes they felt like they hurt a lot to me, but people always made me feel like if I told them what was going on, they'd be like, there's bigger problems in the world, shut up.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it definitely created a space where I felt like my experiences are very unique and the things I'm dealing with are super, super unique, that nobody would ever go through this and nobody would ever understand.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm pretty sure there's a couple million people that are going through exactly the same thing I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And all of us handle it differently based on who we are as people and how far we've grown.
Absolutely. For sure. But do you still see you reacting that way in these kind of situations, or have you come to a point where you're just like, when something happens to you now, your immediate reaction?
I barely react because over the past couple of years, processing so many things, you know my motto. My motto is never take anything personally at this point. I've gotten to the point where I could literally be going through anything and I'll be like, all right, suck it up. Let's do this. We got it.
Big girl pants, right?
If I need to let it go, I'll let it go. If I can fix it, I'll fix it. But what else am I supposed to do about it? I'm just going to let it go.
I get it. I feel you.
So I'm no longer, even though I'm still bad at, I'll explain why I'm bad at self-compassion. But yeah, I think I've improved in that sense. The third one is mindfulness versus over-identification.
What is this one?
Self-compassion requires taking a balanced approach to our negative emotions so that feelings are neither suppressed nor exaggerated.
Ooh.
Do you exaggerate your sadness sometimes and you let it consume you? Sometimes it feels nice to fall into the abyss over the tiniest things.
I will say this, because of the way that I've grown up, my dad was the kind of person, like, he raised us like soldiers. Like, I really relate to the Beyonce's Daddy Lesson song.
Okay.
That's kind of a little, too familiar. But I say this in the sense that my dad was always the kind of person that was like, you don't cry in public, you handle things, you keep it together. So I never got to just like throw pity parties for myself.
Oh.
Never. I never did. I was just always like, get over it. Get over it. It's not a big deal kind of thing. Like, I just manned up. I hate to use that word, but it just felt like that.
You womaned up.
Womaned up, even at a young age. But I think when I got older, I became the kind of person where if something happens to me, I will legit grieve over it. I'll grieve, and I'll be like, oh. And
I'm wounded.
I'm wounded. It's over. And then get up, and I will never remember it again. It's like I've buried it in the ground, and I never look back. But I do allow myself to feel those feelings. And I think it's been really therapeutic for me. It's something that I had to do. Yeah. And I say this because remember, like, around my birthday where I kind of like all my money and like,
Oh, you lost your, like stole your bag and everything?
Yes. Y'all don't understand. It was the day before my birthday. I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And so I was so sad. And then I just allowed myself to like feel it. And my mom was like, you're going to ruin your birthday. I was like, let me feel it. I was like, let me feel it.
Leave me alone.
And I felt it. Until I couldn't feel it anymore. And then after that, I was just able to talk about it. Since then, like, it's somebody else's story. But I'm trying to say that as a simple example, I've allowed myself to feel my feelings so that I can move on with my life, as opposed to always looking back and being like, dang, like this happened, and feeling bad for myself over and over, if that makes any sense.
I think mine is sort of the opposite. When I was younger, because of my dad, it forced me into a state of either you achieve perfection or you're gonna be miserable. I had to be responsible for a parent's emotional state, which no child should be able to. But because of that, I was very meticulous about everything I did, and even the tiniest mistakes to me felt like the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I did lead a fortunate life, I'll be honest about it. I have led such a fortunate life that I don't know. Like, of course I understand what pain is and what suffering is. But for the most part, I led a very fortunate life, a very sheltered life. So small things felt big to me. Until I moved out and started living on my own. And I actually started experiencing big challenges, big difficulties.
Yeah.
And now I look back at them and I'm like, I was such a drama queen about this.
No way.
I'm like, I spent weeks locked in my room and I cried about this and I hurt myself physically.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, looking back at it, that was the dumbest thing. Like, it should have taken me a day maximum to get over whatever the hell that was.
Wow.
But I let it fester and I built it up into this big, dramatic, colossal, like, world-crushing pain. And once you do actually start to experience adult problems, you're like, God damn.
You're like, child, what was I on?
The drama. Jesus, I was a very dramatic child.
That's funny to even imagine you being that kind of kid.
I built everything out of proportion. I decided for people what they were feeling, what they were. I really went.
That's interesting. I can't imagine you being like that now.
I was very. Now I'm chill, and it's like whatever goes. I'm cool. Go with the flow. No, I think I got it out of my system. I swear to God, the smallest inconveniences, they took me so long.
It's like, man down. Your life was just
I made it about everything. I made it about me, like as yo.
It's interesting how we've had separate and individual journeys, but yet I think more or less now we're kind of the same people in how we see life and handle things.
I think you merge into a lane eventually.
Yeah, because funny enough, guys, like I said, me and TG grew up in different parts of the world, grew up in different kind of lifestyles, but yet more or less I feel like we're mellow, we're easygoing. You know, and I think that's what makes Awazi work, y'all.
Hey, let's go for a track or two.
Yes, please.
We'll be back. If you guys are trying to reach out to us, you can use the Telegram. It's at Awazi Show, AWAZESHOW. Are you kind to yourself?
I think that's a great question.
Do you ever think about how you treat yourself and how you talk to yourself? I feel like some people don't even talk to themselves at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a thing that
there's a good
don't
percentage of people
themselves?
that don't check in at all?
Oh my God, y'all have no idea. I enjoy talking to myself.
Bro, best company.
Hands down.
That's why we don't have a lot of friends. We talk to ourselves.
This is so funny. Let's get to this musical break, y'all. Again, Awazi Show, AWAZESHOW on all social media platforms. Don't move a muscle. We'll be back.
Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to your new family. It's the Owaze Show with your hosts Fire and TG every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m.
The best music, entertainment, spicy topics, and so much more.
Owaze, let's spice it up.
We're back at it again, y'all. Welcome back to the Owaze Show here on EBC 104.7 F. This is a straight fire song that me and TG not only have been, you know what I mean, singing to, but also pretty much relate to.
I haven't been able to stop saying I understood the assignment all week. I'll put you onto that song. I have a lot of weird songs on my playlist.
I know the song. But
you do?
The fact that is what you've been saying all week is funny.
I understood the assignment though.
100%.
It's so relatable.
100%. Welcome back, yo. We're here on this Friday night, and we've been talking about, before the musical break, self-compassion and how there are 5 different types.
3. My bad for saying 5.
Did you say 5?
I don't know.
And there's only 3?
Yes. There's 3.
We meant to say 3. Can we do a quick rundown of the 3?
Sure. So the 3, just self-compassion elements. The things that make up how you identify with self-compassion, how you deal with the things that you go through, how you become a friend to yourself. The first one is do you practice self-kindness or self-judgment? These are just questions to ask yourself to see if you are a self-compassionate person.
It's good questions.
So are you kind to yourself, or do you judge you and be like, what a stupid thing to do? And I think a lot of people that deal with anxiety, we will have a random interaction with a person and just have a conversation and say one stupid thing maybe, and it wasn't even that bad,
killing yourself over
and
it.
They maybe didn't even notice. But for the next 3 weeks, I will replay that conversation in my head.
I'm not gonna lie. There's some times where I will remember certain events, maybe even years later.
Yes.
And I will cringe, actually shiver, like Harlem Shake, shiver. I'm like, oh my God, how did that play out? And I feel like anyone who was related to that situation is also thinking about it just as intensely as I am. No, they're not. They don't give no dams. But you know what I'm saying? The fact that we play it to that extent is so dramatic. Yeah.
And I'm usually smooth. I usually am butter. But I have my days where if I'm nervous around a person, if I'm a big fan or I think very highly of them and I happen to meet this person, or my childhood crush.
Oh, Lord.
I lose it immediately.
You guys, I have been able to witness TG around her childhood crush.
And keep in mind, I'm married at this point. I'm good. I'm in love.
It's so funny
Jesus
the way
Christ.
that she starts, I guess, getting hot and sweating profusely.
I was sweaty the whole time.
I'm like, what's happening? What's happening to you,
What
bro?
went wrong?
So funny.
And I'm such
glad.
a chill person, and I can flirt so hard.
To be honest with you, I'm so glad that I got to see you in that element. It was so fulfilling. I'm like, TG, what's happening to you? What's legit happening to you?
I'm so chill that it hurts. When those moments happen, I'm like, where to go? All my years of training.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Wasted. You still find joy off of that.
I'm
day.
not gonna lie, because I was able to fully witness the situation and see everything for what it was.
Breakdown.
Just the third party observer. I was like, what's happening here? This is fun.
Yep. And I have those moments where I'm just dumbfounded afterwards. I'm just like, bro, why? Why'd you do that? Why'd you say that? Your face was weird. Your hands were in the wrong. Like, I just judge the living hell out of myself.
I think for me, when I don't know people, or I guess my first impression, I'm normally just quiet and serious.
You are.
I don't do a lot of talking. I let you talk. I try to feel you out, see what kind of, not physically feel you out, but just like, you know what I mean? You know, just see you for who you are.
Yeah.
And then I just observe. I'm a huge observer.
Same.
So I just observe people, and so I don't say much. So if I ever do some stupid-ish, oh, best believe. I'm like, why did you just shut your mouth? That's what you normally do. So anyway, I completely get it.
True. You have told me horror stories of you just making bad decisions and holding on to it for weeks afterwards.
My God. And normally I guess I come off as the intimidating person. So the moments that I do stupid things, I hold myself accountable to a different level.
Yeah.
So definitely, absolutely understand.
So in those moments, I think it's really important to remember you're only human. You have your kryptonites. You have your days when you're not at 100. And it's okay to let those cringy little moments where somebody a waiter asked you super salad, and you were like, what's a super salad? You're just like, what's
happening?
What's a super salad? Or somebody said, enjoy your meal, and you were like, you too, even though they weren't eating. You know, just
oh my
like,
God, man, these things happen all the time.
Small, teeny tiny things that you just hold on to.
But I think it's nice when you're able to communicate that. Like now, you were able to talk about it, and you realize, okay, these things also happen to other people too. It's not just embarrassing life things that only happen to me.
Yeah.
So talking to people, I think, helps us, at least for me, I've come to a point where it helps me on my self-compassionate journey.
I'm like, we're in this together. It's cool. At least
Absolutely.
I have a partner in this stupid
Yeah.
thing. The second one was common humanity versus isolation, which is what we mean, which is practically what we said. Is it a common experience that a lot of people go through? Is it just if you find dating hard, for example, if you are finding being out there and forming meaningful relationships and friendships and things like that, sometimes to you it might feel like it's just happening to you because you see all these people get married and have kids, and I feel like this is something our generation genuinely just is terrified of, some of us at least.
I think it's a definite huge thing, and I think now, because of social media, people are becoming better at communicating the fact that, hey, I don't live a perfect life, you know what I mean? These things happen to me, and you're like, thank you.
I get it. You get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like it's a very common human experience to go through certain things, and the same way you let other people know, hey, you're not alone, this happens, you're okay.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to do it for you, because when it happens to you, I know it feels like you're the only one this happens to, but you have a lot in common with a lot of people that you know. The third aspect of it is being mindful versus over-identification, and this is in the far corner. Are you mindful of your feelings, of your hurts, of your pain? Or are you taking a small thing and just over-identifying to the point where you're just beating yourself up.
I think this one has to absolutely be intentional on a daily basis. And I say this because if you're not checking in with yourself, you will never ask yourself how you're doing.
Know.
You're just like on the go.
Autopilot.
Exactly. So if you don't sit there and say, why do I feel this way? Or how do I think about the situation? Which is what me and TG try to do
Every show.
Every show. We try to be reflective and ask you guys, hey, what are your personal thoughts? What are your personal feelings? Because we want to be able to exercise that with you guys. But if you don't do it intentionally, oh boy, it is a messy thing. Messy.
True. And parts of myself, like one of the things about asking yourself questions and being mindful is going back and looking at the times when you weren't mindful. Did you make a big fight, a little fight, a big fight? Did you take something somebody said and grow it out of proportions? Did you know what I mean? And that's the moments where it hits you, where you're like, that was a very unchill thing for me to do. So sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry I blew up. That was never my I didn't know how to process certain things, and I over-identified or just miscalculated your intentions. And now it's all about me, and I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make this the dramatic moment. So I've definitely done those.
That's like we said, age. I feel like with age, there's experience, there's wisdom. And for me, that's definitely something that I've come to be, I guess, better at, simply because I've lived more of life. Whereas when you're young, you're so damn dramatic, it's unnecessary. It is so unnecessary.
Like your first breakup feels like you will never find love again.
Until you find the next person, and you're like, why was I like that? Why did I think I would never come to a point where I'd ever fall in love with? And then you break up with that person, you're like, nope, that's it, it's over. So, yeah,
we're definitely dramatic when we're younger, but I don't want to give older people credit either, because y'all are worse sometimes.
You know what? Like I said, age.
As long as you aged mindfully.
Thank you. Good words right there. Because I think there's a lesson that maybe you have overcome in one aspect of your life, but maybe in another you still have yet to learn. So all of us are going through that journey for sure.
Yeah. So those are the 3 parts that you have to assess to even begin saying, do I practice self-compassion?
Can I ask you, out of the 3, which one do you feel like you still struggle with the most?
At the moment, for sure, I judge myself. For sure. Yeah. Self-judgment. As opposed to self-kindness, because I'm kind to anybody and anything but me, and not in every way. I know some qualities of mine that I hold up much higher than others, and I'm like, no, you know what? When it comes to these things, I got it on lock. It's cool. We're good. Yeah. But there are parts of me, like for example, me having physical pain, or me dealing with being ill, or going through something. The best example I will ever give of this, and I'm kind of glad it happened just so I could use it as an example, is me falling down a flight of stairs
and breaking your damn leg,
and then getting up and getting in the ride and still going to work anyway.
Understand, guys, and I have talked about this story in the past. I had no idea that she broke her leg. I talked to her when she was going to the taxi, and then when she got to the destination spot, she literally was like, yo, I think I broke my leg, but I'm not sure. I'll go to the hospital later. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Just talking to you. She sent me that in a text message. So I didn't understand what happened within that frame of time. She was so nonchalant about it. I was like, did it really happen?
Just very calmly.
Or are you talking about something?
I can't come show you directions because my leg's broken.
I literally was like, when did it happen? Like,
I talked to you.
I think me and you, in terms of pain, I'm the same way. My threshold for pain is high.
Apparently.
I can handle a lot of pain.
And I thought I was a crybaby until that happened. That taught me, no.
No, you a G.
I'm just sucking it up and just walking through. I feel like I should be breaking down, as opposed to just being like, nah, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I definitely realized that with pain, because I'm the one that gets sick in my family most of the time. I will literally lock myself away in my room and then heal myself and then come back and be like, what's up?
How y'all doing?
And everyone's like, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? I'm just that kind of person that I don't want to suffer in front of people. I'll suffer alone, and you'll see me at my best.
Absolutely. And if I made commitments or I'm supposed to do something for you and something happens to me, in my head, that doesn't excuse me from whatever obligations it is I made.
Yeah.
I made an obligation, so it doesn't matter if I die on my way. I'm going to be there, probably. Let's just, like, I don't matter in that instance. And I feel like I do need to work on that. Me being physically unhealthy, I need to work on. And just admit when I need a timeout and just be like, I think we've done that a little bit better
This year?
since we've teamed up.
Me and you, I think us teaming up has probably been one of the best things, if not the best thing. No, I'm just kidding. One of the best things that have ever happened to the both of us. I like to think.
We understand what the other one's going through. We're like, please take a day off.
Yes, like, understand that me and TG guys, I know we make this look fun and easy, but there are a lot of things that we do behind the scenes. And the moment that one of us is sick, whether it is gastritis, whether it is, wisdom teeth growing in, whether it is a period coming in and it's like you're PMSing, 'cause we all have those days, women. Like, we have been like, yo, you take the time, rest up. I'm here for you, whatever you need. When you are feeling better, we will proceed. I think we have definitely put health as a big priority for the both of us, for sure.
This is definitely the first partnership where somebody's been like, you're not feeling well? Stay home today.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Don't come into it. I'm like, I love this.
For sure.
This makes me so
For
happy.
sure. And she'll like check up on me and she's like, the day of the holiday, she's like, are you feeling better? I was like, yes, thank you for calling. So very much a lot of, I think, compassion for each other, which really helps for us to be compassionate towards ourselves.
Absolutely. So either get you a friend that will like guide you to there, or be able to do it for yourself and draw boundaries for yourself and ease up on the self-judgment. It's not, it's really not that big of a deal.
You know what? Life, I think we take ourselves way too damn seriously.
We do.
Stop it. Stop it. It's ridiculous, to be honest. And I think for me, this year has been a reflection of me saying, you know what? Let's take life as it is. And whatever crappy things that happen, we will, let it roll off our backs because better days are to come. And that has really helped me. Oh my God. And I'm not going to lie. This is probably the most compassionate I've been towards myself ever this entire year.
Same.
Yeah?
Honestly, yes. I mean, I have a long way to go.
So
don't get me wrong.
So do I.
But at least I'm starting.
I'm glad we're on this journey together.
Same, bruh.
I know, guys, we're a bit cheesy. Deal with it.
We're just having a good time at ignoring you guys entirely. But we do want to hear about your stories as well. Do you practice self-compassion? Are you as nice to yourself as you are to your friends, as you are to your family? Do you put as much effort into your pain and your heartache and, your bad times and your good times? Do you celebrate as hard for yourself as you do for other people?
Essentially, we're asking you guys, as cheesy as this question sounds, are you a friend to yourself?
Are you?
Basically,
And a
that's
good
what it
friend,
is.
too.
Right. Like the dopest friend you are to other people, are you that for you? Let us know, what your thoughts are or your story is on our social media, on our Telegram. You can, hit us up on Awaze Show. That's AWAZESHOW. We are coming towards the end of this hour.
The first hour, but
Yes.
we will be back in just a little bit.
After the 7 o'clock news.
Yes.
I'm going to get to your track. We're going to play a little bit of Sean Paul.
I mean, I love this song. It's a Friday song if ever a Friday song existed.
Absolutely. Let's get to it, and then we're going to see you guys after 7. Don't move a muscle. Let's get it.
Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to your new family. It's the Awaze Show with your hosts Fire and TG every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m.
The best music, entertainment, spicy topics, and so much more.
Awaze, let's spice it up.
Party pause like I do.
I'm going to let you sing that.
You know what? You were right about the song and the video.
It is a vibe.
I've hooked Babe on this song. It's like our cleaning song at the moment.
It's my getting ready song.
I don't get ready. I don't get that. Today is the first time I put on eyeliner all week.
Okay, I've seen you twice this week. Yes, but I mean, like, because I come to work like every day,
Yeah.
it's literally just like I use it to like get up in the morning and dance and sort of shake off that sleepiness. It's great. It's great.
You need, everybody needs a playlist
Yes.
that they get dressed to, and it needs to be specific for whatever you're getting ready for. So if I'm going on a night out, I have a specific playlist
Absolutely.
to get me in the mood.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, it's like when you're getting ready in between and you're listening to the music, and then you all of a sudden just break down and start dancing and singing.
You need multiple dance breaks, food break, like a drink break. There's a lot that goes into it, you guys. It's a Friday night. You get what we mean.
Absolutely.
I don't know what you want. But I'm quite interested. It is the second hour of the Awaze Show with your girls, Howie and TG.
Hey.
Hope you guys are tuned in and having a fantastic Friday evening.
Yes.
Thank God it's Friday.
Oh my God. You know, me and TG say this every single week that we're excited it's Friday so we can sleep, but we mean it this week. We mean it.
Especially, I haven't gotten up, and you get up every morning, like early every morning.
Yep.
I haven't done that in a good 5 or 6 months. So to get up 2 days in a row.
Back to back?
Yes, back to back at like...
Not 5 or 6 months. A couple months ago, we were doing it every single day for like an entire week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 months ago.
Just felt like a long time ago.
3 months. Okay, it's been 3 months since I've had to wake up any time before 8 in the morning. So I'm so ready to go home.
I know. I know.
We're so boring, you guys.
But we're fun to each other.
It's a good time, but it's not gonna be like late or anything.
Completely agree.
Early. It's a good time, but we gotta leave early. We're those people. Before we do start the second hour, I gotta give a shout out to the family at the park. It's a vibe check. It's coming out October 1st.
Definitely gonna play that during the musical break.
yeah.
That song is such a vibe.
It's a vibe check. It's a vibe. I mean, we sang it for weeks straight after the first time we listened to the
Oh
song.
my God.
So shout outs to the park crew. Shout outs to everybody. The mixtape is coming out in October as well. The whole crew is about to pop the hell off.
It is amazing because my sister, I had her listen to the song. I was like, hey, listen to this song. She was like, is this an artist from like America? Like, what's
Is this
up?
a West African thing? What's going on?
And I was like, no, here in Addis made the song. She was like, what?
Yes.
This is amazing. Honestly, the song deserves all the hype that it's going to get.
True. And we do keep eyes on the park because they are an incredible just collaborative of people with amazing talent just left and right, and great people, great family,
Super dope
great
people.
vibes all around. So we're
sure.
super happy. It's called the Barari Mixtape, and it's coming out super duper October 1st. It's dropping October 1st.
I have been looking forward to this for such a long time.
And we talked about it a while ago.
A while ago, we had, a couple members from the park come on our show months ago.
Yeah.
And so, very excited, guys. Big ups to the entire park
Super
crew.
ready.
Yes.
Yeah, so Vibe Check, video, and the Barari Mixtape are all dropping on the same day. We're gonna have it for you super fresh right here. And it's not like they're selling it, they're like streaming it for free.
Because that's how much they want this good music to be able to be accessible to everyone.
We need to keep up with the rest of Africa.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yes, absolutely. That being said, we're talking about self-compassion. Be self-compassionate to yourself. Cough on radio.
And this moment, guys, this entire show, I have been having this tickle in my throat. So I've been wanting to cough, but I don't want to cough on you guys, like on the mic. So TG's like, hey, do it. Go ahead.
If whatever you're going through, they need to
There
put
you
up
go.
with it. Another thing Dr. Helen was talking about was ways of practicing self-compassion.
All right.
And here's me. I'm absolutely a hypocrite when it comes to these things. Yes, I work on my mental health, and yes, I try to process information and like process my feelings and things like that, but I'm very bad at using tools that help me in the process, like trying yoga. I don't think I can try yoga with a straight face.
What do you think you'd laugh?
As soon as you say downward facing dog, I'm out.
Come on, bro.
I'm a child. So she was showing different ways on how to use tools of self-compassion, and one of them was the self-hug.
You know what? This one is so spot on. I've never done this kind of thing before. I started doing it more so this year, and it gives me this ishy-gushy feeling. Like, it's so good, guys.
I've never hugged myself.
Have you started to do it after that?
No, that's what I mean by I have trouble keeping a straight face. I have outer body experiences when I look at me from outside and I judge me and I'm like, you look stupid.
No, I think for me, I do it in like situations in which I have more serious conversations, or maybe if I'm like listening to I guess somebody inspirational or somebody saying something profound, and then I want to sort of give that love to myself while I'm listening to it. So it's always in a serious situation. Okay. It's never like in a silly situation. It's like, oh, like, yay. I'm doing it now. It's ridiculous. You can't even see me. But yes, definitely something I've never done before, and something that I've been starting to do now. It's nice to start practicing.
I honestly just haven't matured enough to a point where I can talk about these things or do these things and not turn them into it's a problem.
Why do you think you turn them into a joke?
Because humor has always been my coping mechanism, right? I'm the funny person. I'm the one that gets people laughing and it's a good time.
Yeah.
So even when I'm by myself dealing with really, really hard things,
they're uncomfortable for you.
I make sure to throw a couple of jokes in there just to lighten the mood.
For yourself?
Yes. There ain't nobody around. It's just me cracking jokes at me and laughing by myself. But
that's actually a pretty even profound realization for just yourself.
Oh, no, I know. I'm very aware of the fact that I refuse to take anything too seriously. Like I said, I keep it nonchalant for a reason. And that's because even the darkest jokes are cool. They're fun. As long as they're funny. And I'll roll with the punches. Humor is a great way to cope.
Yes,
it's not always the healthiest, but I still have not matured to the point where I take anything 100% of the way serious. I will still make fun of the situation. Regardless of what happened, I will still crack a joke.
It's interesting. I think one thing now that you're talking about this that I've had a realization about myself that I do is that when I'm in pain, I'm more accommodating to other people so that people don't have to feel uncomfortable about me being in pain. So it's like I used to get panic attacks. I still do from time to time. It's not as often. But when I would get panic attacks, when I would feel them coming on, what I dead ass would do was be like, we'll see y'all in a bit. And I would literally run away and physically be away from people so that I wouldn't make people feel uncomfortable having a panic attack in front of them.
I understand that.
And then when I feel better, I come back and I'm like, what's up, y'all? And they're like, what the hell happened to you? And so I've always thought that let me make people feel uncomfortable when I'm in pain so that they're not uncomfortable. It's a very strange thing.
I get that. We do make compromises to make sure that people aren't affected by like our sadness or whatever mood changes that we're going through. We absolutely make compromises for these things. My thing is, like, for example, with the practices of self-compassion, for example, like giving yourself a hug or telling yourself it's gonna be okay. One of the things that we sometimes end up arguing about with my fiance is it'll work out. You know, like it'll be fine. You're overreacting. Calm down, relax. It'll be fine. And I know it'll be fine. I'm still gonna freak out about it.
No way. I've never seen you react that way before.
Honey. I mean, like I said, I keep it very chill. Mm-hmm. But my brain always goes 101 million miles per hour. Just trying to figure it all out and piece it all together. You
have a good way of covering that for sure.
Oh, hell no. I'd be damned if I show weakness. That's a very hard thing for me to do. You need to... I believe that people have a certain confidence in me, and I don't want to break down and give you the impression that I don't have it handled. Because if your confidence in me wavers, then my confidence in me is definitely going to pay the price.
Oh, wow.
Because it depends on how much of a trust you have in me, how much faith you put in me. It kind of gives me the momentum to be like, no, they're counting on me. I'm going to get up and do it. As opposed to if I let you see me in a weak state and you're like, ooh, this might be a little much for her to handle. I'm gonna be like, you're right.
That's actually real. That's real. Seeing yourself, at least your perception of yourself is through other people's eyes, not your own.
Always, literally.
That's too heavy because it's too real. It's too real. Oh my God, man. I feel like when we talked about which one is the most difficult, I guess, component of self-compassion that we're working on, for me, it's the same one. Number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to learn the tools of self-compassion. And for people like me that refuse to take anything seriously, my favorite way of practicing self-compassion is music, believe it or not.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
that
is absolutely believable from
I
you.
want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I want loud music in my ear, and I usually listen to very soft, delicate voices. I like to listen to her.
Like as a new school,
H-E-R.
old school.
Regardless, it's a lot of even old school. It's a lot of unbreak my heart and like
I love it, Sade.
So much Sade that it will freak you out.
Are you serious? I'm in love. I
So
love
much
it.
Sade.
Oh my God. Create me a playlist. I'm actually
Please.
intrigued now.
I would love to. And so my form of practicing self-compassion when it feels like I'm being a little too harsh on myself or I've had a really tough day is I'll just take the time out to make myself a nice little playlist. Sometimes it's Frank Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra and like Nina Simone or whatever.
Ooh, I like it.
Right? And I'll sit down and I'll shut up and I'll tell my brain, okay, chill out, we're listening to music. And I will take the time out to just breathe and be like, it'll be fine. You're gonna be okay. We're gonna wake up super early tomorrow and figure out what to do. But for tonight, time out. Just stop whatever you're thinking about. Just cut it out. And that's me giving myself a hug. That's me just placing a hand on my heart and being like, we're okay. We'll get through this. We're okay. So that's just my advice. That's a good way to at least work up to having hard conversations with yourself. Is just to be present in the moment and be very far away from your troubles in your head.
Oh yeah.
And comfort and soothe yourself. So find whatever it is that soothes you. It might be hiking or going into nature or doing other recreational things. Wink, wink. Whatever it is, do what you need to do to give yourself a moment to practice being a good friend to you. And doing all the crazy, like, out of the way things that you do for your friends, for yourself. Treat yourself. Buy food for you. Go get yourself some ice cream. Take yourself out on a date.
Speaking to my soul.
I'm learning. I'm trying to learn how to eat by myself, which is still hard. But learn how to practice self-compassion the way you want to do it. You don't always have to do what a guru teaches you or what we say to do. Think of the things that make you happy.
Oh yeah.
And do it by yourself.
These are super good points. I say this because I am one of those people that, especially in the last few years, I've really started to enjoy my own company. Yeah. A little too much. A little too much, apparently.
It's kind of scary.
It's kind of scary how much I enjoy being by myself. I am that person that likes to get ice cream by myself or to go shopping by myself. So
never.
I'm not going to lie. I think I started doing it because I felt so damn uncomfortable doing it. Oh. It came because I was just like, this feels awkward, just being by myself. It felt so awkward. I would go into a cafe and eat by myself, and I'm like, everybody notices how uncomfortable I am. And I'm damn sure.
Most of the time, people don't even care.
Nobody's even paying attention at you.
The world doesn't revolve around
it does not. And so it came to a point where I was like, no, I want to do this much more that I enjoy it. And I was like, okay, let's see how long that takes. And now I've just come to a point where it's like, I don't need you to eat. I can eat by myself.
Yeah, she'll be like, we'll be done with work at like 9. And she'll be like, I'm going to go grab some dinner. I'm like, I'd rather starve. Because today, for example, I woke up, I had a training about taxes.
Yes.
And then I had a couple hours before we had to come to work. And instead of spend 2 or 3 hours by myself outside, I went all the way back to Haile Garment.
Oh my God.
For like an hour and a half of a break. I was like, nope, I'm gonna go home. I don't want to be outside by myself. This is too scary. No, thank you. So yeah, that's definitely one of the things I need. And one of my closest friends is like the queen of doing everything by herself. She was like yelling at me half the day, just being like, you wimp. I can't believe you're gonna go all the way back to you scaredy cat. I'm like, I admit it, it's fine.
I completely get it. It takes time. But yeah, guys, we're gonna get to a musical break, and then when we come back,
Betty, we did see you.
Yes, Betty.
You.
I hope you know that we noticed.
I don't know what the audio's like gonna sound like if we put you on right now, but as soon as we get off air, we'll talk.
We're gonna figure it out. Yeah. Yes. So let's get to vibe check because it's such a vibe for this Friday show.
Yeah.
Do not move a muscle. Again, Awaze Show. You can check us out on all social media platforms at AWAZESHOW. And we'll be back after this musical break. Don't move a muscle. Let's get it.
Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to your new family. It's the Owaze Show with your hosts Fire and TG every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m.
The best music, entertainment, spicy topics, and so much more.
Owaze, let's spice it up.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Owaze Show.
Hola.
What it do, what it do, what it do.
I made a very weird noise, and because I'm wearing headphones, I heard exactly what that sounded like. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's my bad.
Yo, man, we've been having a good Friday talking about self-compassion.
Are you a good friend to you, I guess, is the question of the day.
Can I ask you now, in your journey so far, at least looking back at where you are at this particular moment, can you say now that you are becoming a better friend to you, or where can you, I guess, just describe who you are in your self-compassionate journey? I'm
definitely on my way. I'm a fun friend for myself.
Okay.
I cheer me up. I mourn with myself. You know what I mean? Because I spend so much time just isolating myself from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I've had to develop a sense of me, myself, and I are separate things, separate entities, and we all keep each other company. We all talk to each other. I'm not crazy, you guys. I really should. I'm not crazy. I do have a split personality, but this isn't about that. So yes, I'm definitely on the road to becoming the type of friend that I am to other people, to myself. I'm on the road. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. What about you?
I have definitely become better. I can say that because this has been, I think, probably the only year in my life that I have been intentional about every aspect of my life. I just never was that person. I always was like, just let's go with the flow for everything. What the hell? And that is inclusive of just even how I treated myself. I never checked in with myself. There was no reflections, quote unquote. So now I'm intentional. So I do these kind of things where it's like, I give myself hugs, and I do things where I'm just like, if something feels overwhelming, I give myself enough grace to say, you know what? We're going to take a break. We've done a good job for now. Let's take a break. Let's rest. That doesn't only just mean physical, but even just mental, emotional rest. And then I'm like, okay, we're okay now. Let's come back to it. So definitely feel like I've given myself a lot of grace and a lot of compassion this year than ever before, because I definitely was not doing that in the past, for sure.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, one other thing I also want to say is learn to apologize to yourself for like past you, what it's done to you. Learn to apologize for past behaviors, for self-harming behaviors, where you catch yourself do a bad thing that will cost you eventually. Learn to say, I'm sorry. That's just a part of my programming. Learn to forgive yourself, basically.
Absolutely. I think the reason why I started giving myself hugs was because I was looking back at like 17, 18-year-old me and how I was just so mean to myself.
Oh.
I was mean to myself physically, emotionally, mentally, all of that. And I think now when I look back at how far I've come, I'm like, man, I was brutal to myself. And I think I do a lot of hugs because I'm hugging the younger part of myself.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
Yeah, and giving myself, the younger version of myself, enough compassion to be like, okay, we didn't know better then. We didn't know enough then. We're better now. We know enough now. So it's sort of just both versions of me sort of hugging each other and being compassionate towards each other.
That's really sweet.
Yes.
I do want to. I hug everybody. So this
You give really great hugs
yeah,
too.
it feels like I should be able to do it with me, doesn't it?
I feel like you would enjoy your own hugs. Yay.
I'm a very good hugger. And I give out hugs unsolicitedly. So line up anytime you need a hug. I'm your gal.
She gives great hugs, guys, for sure.
Yes, but I'm the hardest part and the most stressful part I'm working on right now is forgiving me for slipping up, forgiving myself for wasting my potential, forgiving myself for giving people opportunities, one too many that I probably shouldn't have.
That is the one that I am having trouble on. I am trying to forgive myself on moments that I wasted my time with other people who didn't deserve my time.
I'm just like, how dare you?
Ah,
That was our times, bro.
I am now noticing the red flags with it's not like, I think you said this once where you're just like, be the type of person that when you notice red flags you don't think of Six Flags.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, yay.
This looks like fun.
Yes,
Absolutely. No, yeah. I'm definitely working on that part of self-compassion. One of these days I'll be mature enough to not crack a single joke and get through like a breakdown, because I'm the type to cry and laugh it's so weird for people to see me have a breakdown, which is why I never do it in front of people.
to be honest with you, I am the same. I don't know when you
Do you
laugh.
like chuckle like until you can't breathe halfway through?
Bro, I'm laughing at first, so people are like, she's losing her damn mind, and I'm laughing, and then it turns into crying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like
And you start laughing at some
crying,
point?
it's just like, I can't believe I just cried.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we have a lot to work on. In case you guys haven't noticed, we used to have a lot of conversations about, oh my God, we're the crazy girls.
Yeah.
Holy,
But we don't appear that way. When
Be
you guys
cannoli,
see us,
yeah.
we're very mellow and chill. So it's kind of intriguing to find out that, like I said, me and TG are similar in many parts of our life.
we've admitted to ourselves that, yeah, we're crazy. We're a little on the stabby side.
That's kind of funny.
But I hope you guys have at least learned how to think about self-compassion. If you didn't even know that was a thing, or like me, if you hadn't really put a lot of thought into it, I hope this gave you a chance to ask yourself the question, am I as good of a friend to myself as I am to other people?
Sure.
And definitely sit down and talk about those three parts that we talked about earlier as well, and just process and be like, I will do better and try to do better with how I ridicule myself and I put myself down, and I because it all comes from you. Self-compassion, self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. It all starts with self for a reason, because if you're
Absolutely.
not okay, all those things are going to be affected by
You
it.
cannot give from an empty cup. Like, if you are
Yes.
drained, if there's nothing in you, there's nothing you can give to other people. It just does not
there
make
isn't much
sense.
to offer in that case.
And I think and being intentional. It's absolutely being intentional in every aspect of it. So we encourage you guys to do that, and not just only think of, the components, but it's like, what parts of, self-love or self-compassion can I exercise? So it's like, okay, this is the problem, and then thinking of solutions so that you can be able to replace it. So for me, I'm still doing that, and I think we're both still doing that, and having accountability, I think, is really great. To be able to be like, yo, TG, what are you doing? And she can do the same for me. So have somebody that you can also hold accountable, and that can also hold you accountable too.
I hope you're lucky enough to have at least one.
Just one. You don't need no damn group. One person. If you can find just that one person, it can even be, your mom or your siblings. It doesn't always have to be friends. I'm close with my mom, so I do this with my mom too. But yeah, absolutely. And I think, like we said, we're trying to keep you guys reflective. So hopefully you guys, go into the weekend with that, as well as enjoy the holidays.
Holiday weekend, y'all
self-compassion.
Eat, take care of you.
Yeah.
Don't forget to drink tons and tons of water.
Oh my God.
Make good decisions as usual.
And have an Owaze, not just an Owaze night, but an Owaze weekend for those of you who are celebrating. Yes, and see you guys next Friday. Signing out. Bye.
Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to your new family. It's the Owaze Show with your hosts Fire and TG every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m.
The best music, entertainment, spicy topics, and so much more.
Owaze, let's spice it up.